So in this example, we bring everything together with scale factor and we look at a full 3D object and everything we would need to do with scale factor. So here we have two spherical storage tanks for fuel, gasoline, diesel, oil, things like that. They're used at refineries. They're cheap and easy to make. But the small tank has a capacity of 1,400 cubic meters. The large tank has a capacity of 4,725 cubic meters. And during the refining process, both tanks are filled with oil at the same rate. How many times longer will it take to fill the larger tank than it will to take the smaller tank? Obviously, it will take longer, just how much longer? So in reality, it would take 4,725 divide by 1,400, whatever that works out to, that's how many times longer it will take. And that works out to 3.375 times longer. So if it takes 1 hour to fill the small tank, it would take 3.375 hours to fill the large tank. Now, looking at this actually leads us into being able to answer question B. Because what we did to determine that ratio was we took the ratio of the volumes, how much oil each one could hold. Well, and since we're comparing volumes, which are measured in meters cubed, like with areas were related to the scale factor squared, volumes are related to the scale factor cubed. Knowing that allows us to answer question B, how many times greater is the radius? Because obviously, you look at those two tanks, the big tank does not look 3 times wider than the little tank. And in fact, it's not. But that 3.375 is the scale factor cubed. So now from this, we need to determine what actually the scale factor was. What multiplied by itself 3 times gives us 3.375. Now, if this was an exponent of 2, we could just square root both sides, but it's not. Because it's an exponent of 3, we could do something called the cube root, which would cancel off the exponent. We would cube root 3.375, and we'd be good. However, most calculators do not have a cube root button on them. So that method becomes not impossible, just a little bit more tricky to do. However, as we looked at in Foundations in Pre-Calc 10, there is an equivalent way of putting a cube root on, that is an exponent. So the equivalent of a cube root as an exponent is an exponent of 1/3. Have to do it to both sides. That does cancel the exponent of 3. Every calculator can do an exponent. Just make sure you put in your 3.375, put in your exponent button, put brackets around the 1/3, and we get that the scale factor is 1.5. So the large tank holds 3 times what the small tank does, but the radius is only 1.5 times bigger.